Thank you for tuning in to MacroView Television, and welcome to another brand new edition of the Taiwan Outlook, the program that presents the different faces and also lets you hear the different voices of Taiwan. I'm your host, Ray Guo. I'm going to start off today's program with a different question to all the TV viewers at home. Let me ask you, what do you do when you have leisurely activities available? Do you go to amusement park or resort area like Disneyland? If you do, you don't have to go to the United States anymore, because right now in Taiwan, in the greater Kaohsiung area, we have a brand new amusement park and also resort area opening, and that is patterned after the Disneyland in the United States. And today on the program, we're delighted to have Ms. Marian Chiang, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department of the General Management Committee of the E-United Group, to talk about the leisure activities industries in Taiwan. Welcome to the program, Marian.
Raymond and everybody, hello. So nice to see you on air, and very delighted to be here today.
Okay, well, let me start off with a question. We know that we have a brand new amusement park and resort area opening in the greater Kaohsiung area, and that is called the Yida World. And this is something of a tremendous scale, and certainly has a lot of state-of-the-art facilities, and certainly has made the impact on people's leisurely activities in Taiwan. Can you then start off with a brief introduction about the Yida World project?
Yida World is within the southern part of Taiwan, and used to be in Kaohsiung County, but not anymore. That is the Greater China, over the Kaohsiung.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the area named Renwu and Yanchao.
Right.
So it's not very far from the city center.
Right.
If you take the HSR rail arriving in Zuoying Station, spending about 18 minutes on motorway, and there's a direct route to Yida World.
Good.
Within this site, that actually is the only and also is the largest special development zone for the international leisure and business complex in Taiwan.
Okay.
And the area is about 900,000 square meters in size.
That's quite sizable.
Very, very big. And within this park, or we call it within this world, we have two international standard hotels, and it is focusing in the resort, leisure, or even business travelers.
Okay.
And we have the largest outlet mall, similar but slightly different from the regular department store, but we call it outlet mall. So this is the largest one in Asia. This is the Yida Outlet Mall. And we have a theme park, which is maybe not the largest in Taiwan. However, there is the most numbers of play items in Taiwan. That is the Yida theme park. So apart from the amusement accommodation, holiday, shopping, and then we have the individual housing area called Aero District, which is simply is a house built up and then for sale. In this world, apart from the entertainment, and then we have education system.
You do?
Yes, we do have, and we have university.
We
have elementary school all the way up to including junior and senior high school. And there's international bilingual education system environment. So within the Yida World, it is complex. And so there is a brand new idea and concept implemented in the southern part of Taiwan. So it is a new landmark now, attracting quite a lot of visitors.
But given the magnitude and the size of the project, this is something that's been coming along over a number of years. We understand the amusement park and also the hotel, which just recently opened up, less than 6 months ago. But the university, I know, has been there for a number of years, and also you have hospital, and also you have a theater, for performing arts inside the Yida World. All these things, are they developed according to a plan, according to the different stages of development, or is it because depending on the market demand? If there's a market demand for this particular need, then you will have a hospital, you will have a university, you will have other things. How did the whole project come about?
30 years ago, the founder of the E-United Group, Mr. Lin Yishou, had already purchased large numbers of lands in Guanyin Mountains in Kaohsiung County, used to be called. At that time, he didn't really have much planning for we call a future Wonderland or Disneyland in this kind. 15 years ago, starting with the education system. So that's where the Yishou University was established. And then coming into the place is the international school, which, as I mentioned earlier, elementary school, junior, senior high schools, and even the kindergarten. But yes, you're right. It's the market demand, and also there are a lot of industries actually have been leaving Taiwan, right? Manufacturing, etc., particularly. So the leisure, tourist development, and also the entertainment, amusement industries, including filmmaking, or we call creativity industry. That actually is booming. And then booming, we need some place to help them to grow and to develop. The southern part of Taiwan is a beautiful place, sunshine all the time. That is a perfect place for leisure activities. So founder Lin Yishou, our chairman of the group, 15 years ago, starting to plan that we need to have something, attraction that could attract more tourists to stay in Kaohsiung. Otherwise, used to be passengers just coming to canteen and then just stop over Kaohsiung for half a day, and that is not really helping a local economy. That's right, not enough. So 15 years ago, that he started to plan like the theater or the shopping area, the hotel, etc. So yes, it's considering about the market demand, and also that he wants to do something feedback to the local community. In the southern part of Taiwan, that he feels that he needs to do something big or first, and like to inspire people and also to create the job opportunities. As a 71 years old businessman, that he wants to do your public service and also business development for the community.
At the same time.
At the same time.
And given the fact that this is something that developed over, almost 30 years, and the fact of the matter remains is something of this scale, this magnitude, will certainly bring a lot of business opportunities and also employment opportunities to the local economy. Has that been also part of the reason for Mr. Lin, the founder of the group, to have this project to be launched in the first place?
Apart from attracting visitors to stay longer time in the southern part of Taiwan, founder Lin would like to create job opportunities to boost the local economy and also to attract attention from the public sectors to put more efforts or resources into the southern part of Taiwan. Then he started from Kaohsiung area, so he wants to stay in Kaohsiung area. Yes, we have managed to recruit nearly 6,000 staff working in Ida World.
They're mostly local.
Mostly locally hired. That is a great thing. You have someone working there, and then you have friends, relatives will be associated and also will be benefiting from the job opportunity. So it is like a town and city building big project in the southern part of Taiwan.
But let me ask you, something of this size, it must cost a lot of money to construct, to put your dream into reality. What's the overall estimate of the total cost for Ida World?
What we have seen now in terms of the hotels, outlet mall, theme park, theater, and Aero District, the individual housing areas. And also we have some other projects now in planning. That is about 50 billion NT dollars. 50
billion?
Yes.
But that's going to be spread out over, what, 10 years, or is it?
It's 30 billion money. $30 billion is already spent.
Oh, really?
So that's already established.
Over 60%.
Yeah, the things we already physically touch and sing or smell, that is already there and it's already been spent. And another $20 billion we're going to spend. We're going to build a cable cars to connect Ida World
Okay.
and Foguangshan.
Okay.
And we also would like to build, we call it Dream Factory. It's like a Universal Studio.
DreamWorks.
The DreamWorks, yes, Dream Factory, DreamWorks. There.
Okay.
And also we like to build another like 动漫馆, which
Okay.
is like a 4D comics and creativity industry for them to develop for the talents
Okay.
to exercise their skills and creativity.
Yeah.
So totally $50 billion.
Okay, and we understand that the Yida World just recently opened up in Taiwan about 6 months ago. And given the fact that it's a brand new attraction in southern Taiwan, there's of course been a lot of attention, media coverage about the Yida World. Under such a closely watched eyes by the media and by the public, what is your target for the first year total revenue?
Right. For the first year,
Okay.
It's a warm-up stage.
Okay.
It's a learning period time.
All right.
And we are welcoming all the opinions and suggestions to make more improvement.
All right.
But we do have a target.
Okay.
And we hope for the first year that we can make $5 billion as a total revenue.
Okay.
3 years later, that is $10 billion.
Oh, okay. And what are some of the things that you would do to help yourself try to reach that goal?
We have hotels and then have other leisure activities.
Okay.
First of all, we have to do the branding.
Okay.
Branding is costly.
Of course.
So we don't mind doing that.
Okay.
Many people know the Yida World, but may not really know what they are.
Okay.
They probably only remember, oh, there are great hotels, there is a great theater.
Okay.
But in fact, there's more.
Well, hold that thought for a second, Marian, because we need to take a break on our program. And when we come back, we will continue this conversation with Ms. Marian Chiang, who is going to talk to us about the marketing strategy for the Yida World. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the second segment of today's program here on the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Rui Guo. Well, we'll continue our conversation with Ms. Marian Chiang, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department of the General Management Committee of the E-United Group in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Marian, I'm going to ask you that we understand since the ongoing détente between China and Taiwan, tourism has become a very important industry for the Taiwan economy. Given the fact that last year, in the year 2010, there was over 1.2 million Chinese tourists coming into Taiwan. And the Yida World, as you mentioned, will open in the second half of 2010. How would you, as part of your marketing strategy, try to attract some of these Chinese tourists, maybe not all, but at least some proportion of these Chinese tourists to come to the Yida World in Kaohsiung? What is your strategy?
As Raymond mentioned earlier, that is really the big portion of the mainlanders coming to Kaohsiung last year. And in fact, according to the official figures, it's the growth rate of the Chinese mainlanders coming here for pleasure, not for business, is 127.8% growth. So that is the big market. And in China, there's no other complex as leisure, business, and even the vacation accommodation as a whole, like Yida World. So we know our products very well, and we are ready for receiving the visitors. So our marketing strategy, one, is to build up the branding. And to let the people know what Yida World is about and what they can get and what pleasure they can enjoy. Second phase of the marketing strategy is that we will work or cooperate with the other industries like travel industries, airline companies, and even the food and beverage industry, and to come up with the tourist package. And then we can establish different theme of the trips for focusing on the arts, or focusing like a natural environmental, or like a business or national park.
Okay.
Focusing on like fitness.
Yes.
And or like cosmetic medicine or surgery, because we have Ida Hospital. So combining with this, and
That's
also we can
thinking.
have
Mm-hmm.
cultural, because Ida World near neighboring area, we have Meinong,
Yes.
we have
Hakka
culture and beautiful, nice food together.
Yes.
So we can develop different themes for the trips.
Okay.
And that is something very big attraction for the mainlanders.
Okay.
Because they will not experience such complex and also multi-phases of business trips, and in one go in Ida World.
Okay.
So that is a phase 2 strategy.
Okay.
Of course, they will have to improve our products and services. So as I mentioned earlier, they will have new developments like cable cars, and we have other facilities and filmmaking factories or environment. That is another entertainment park.
Okay.
So every day, every year, they will have something new. And then we can attract more people coming.
Okay.
And they can come back again and again.
How about domestically to the Taiwan tourists? For those of us who live in northern part of Taiwan, what are the strategies to try to get us go down to Ida World in Kaohsiung?
For the past 6 months,
Okay.
we have noticed that there are quite a lot of visitors coming from central and the northern part of Taiwan.
Yes.
We'll take the HSR coming purposely to Gaotiezha and then to Ida World to do shopping.
Oh, okay, yes.
Because we got the largest outlet mall in Asia,
yes.
and that is in Ida World. And the products that is you can have 90% off. And those are for international brands, such as Gucci, YSL, Dex, etc., etc. So that is something unique.
Yes.
You cannot find it anywhere else in Taiwan.
So the savings that you make by shopping in Ida World is probably going to be enough to cover all the other costs.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that is another trend that we try to create.
Okay.
You don't need to spend a fortune to own the international brands. That you can be a smarter shopper.
Okay.
You can have a more pleasure, pleasant consumers, and to spend wonderful time in Ida World.
Okay. So besides domestic travelers and also tourists from China, what are the other areas or countries that you're targeting as the source of visitors to the Ida World?
Apart from mainland China and the other cities of Taiwan,
yes,
Hong Kong,
okay,
and Japan, Korea, and also other countries of the southern Eastern Asia.
Okay.
These are all our targets.
Okay.
Of course, we'll attract some people from Europe. However, that we were still trying to observe that the visitor sources and nationalities, what they like, what they don't like. So as I said, we just opened, a couple of months ago.
Yes.
And quite a lot of things for us to observe and learn.
Okay.
So we hope that we can find a unique positioning in the market. But first of all, we would like to cover and take good care of our neighbor countries.
Okay. Well, Marian is very modest because from the preliminary feedback that we get from people who have visited Ida World have all been primarily positive. So the fact of the matter remains is you're already making a brand for Ida World, and also in the future, I think the market will grow, for Taiwan and certainly, hopefully, for Ida World as well. But I think earlier you mentioned a very interesting, it's not new, but a very interesting concept of having tourists or visitors, coming to Ida World, but in the process also visit Ida Hospital for health checkup. That is something I think our government is also trying to promote. And the fact of the matter remains is that we do have some competitors in the region, for example, Singapore. And then they also offer state-of-the-art medical services, and you visit Singapore for 3 to 4 days, and you can do a health checkup. And we have also hospitals all over Taiwan, thinking of this medicine and then tourism combined tour package. How is that Ida World going to be able to provide an edge compared with other competitive hospitals or competitive countries?
Yida Hospital is the largest hospital in the southern part of Taiwan.
Okay.
Within 15 to 18 minutes drive distance, then you reach the Yida World, which is a resort and leisure complex.
Okay.
You can do the cosmetic surgery or cosmetic medicine.
Okay.
And you could have the physical checkup. You could also have the weight management services.
Okay.
And once you have done the medical part of the process, you need time and room and space to recover from the surgery or from the medical treatment. Within very short distance, then you come to the hotels of the Yida World. You even don't need to step up your room, then you got the room services. If you want to do some shopping, at the same time while you're recovering from your surgery, nearby there is an outlet mall. That is the unique place.
Okay.
That is unique for the Yida Hospital and Yida World.
Okay.
And that is also something that the other cities, such as Raymond mentioned earlier, Singapore and Korea, they came to observe and visit us. They want to know what equipment we have, what service items we offer, and how we combine such we also, this is also kind of same package travel, right?
Of course.
Right, so they really are coming here to see how we do.
To learn from you.
To learn from us. But of course, that before we established these services, we went to observe the Singapore and Korea and to learn the valuable knowledge and experience. It is a platform, and we would like to be a leader.
Okay.
And that's, we think it's quite unique and it's quite marketable.
Okay. I know that looking at the Yida World experience, the founder, Mr. Lin, is actually trying to balance a number of different objectives. One on leisure, one on entertainment, one on education, one on culture, and one on the medical services. All these different things. What are the priorities for Yida World as you grow bigger in the coming years? And are you going to be focusing more on the educational, cultural part, or are you going to be putting more resources into the entertainment and leisurely areas? I'm not saying that they are necessarily incompatible, but the fact of the matter remains is, for corporation, for business to be successful, there needs to be a priority. As far as you can share with us, what is the priority for Yida World?
For the Yida World itself,
okay,
that is the business opportunities generation. So that is a priority.
All right.
Business is business, so everything views as has to be benefits and commercially helpful. However, within the Yida World, we have education. So we have university and junior, senior high schools, including the kindergarten, elementary school. That part of the business, that is for feedback. That's for public service. So we don't expect to make a fortune from education system.
No.
We do expect to make a fortune from the other business sector, which is manufacturing, steel, products production.
Of course.
That is our, we call it golden chicken, yes? So that has to be very profitable. So we have that as our step, as our strong backup. And then we develop Yida World. Yida World, not just the branding, that is also another important meaning. That is to bring up the city competitiveness for Kaohsiung. So that the people coming to Kaohsiung not just only stay few hours.
And they want to stay longer.
Longer. So that is for the Yida World is very important goal. Branding up and generating business opportunities, of course, generating business revenues. And so I think the priorities are quite clear and is not in conflict. In fact, we can all cover it well at the same time.
Instead of being incompatible, they're complementary to each other.
That's right, exactly.
We're going to take another break on our program, and when we'll come back, we will continue this interesting conversation with Ms. Marian Chiang, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department at the E-United Group in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. And we're going to talk about some of the competition that Yida World in Kaohsiung may face from the neighboring city and country. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back to our program. I am Wu Ruiguo. We will continue this conversation with Ms. Marian Chiang, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department of the General Management Committee of the E-United Group in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. And she's here on behalf of eDaWorld, which is a brand new integrated resort and amusement park in southern Taiwan. I want to ask, Marian, the fact is that, when we come to eDaWorld as, one of the most attractive, destinations in southern Taiwan today, that we can, of course, go to the outlet mall, go to the amusement park, and go to some leisurely activities at the, the theater and other things. But how about the other options around the area, not just inside the eDaWorld? What are some of the other options available?
Quite a lot of people say that eDaWorld is a leading position.
Yes.
Leading in what position, in what aspect? Not just the boosting up the economy, the tourist development, but also the culture, humanity, and arts and creativity. Some people come to southern part of Taiwan, they may just go to the night market and or to do some shopping. However, that we have created an opportunity for them to explore something nice, something beautiful near the eDaWorld. Okay. Used to be called Kaohsiung County.
Okay.
Probably not many people heard about Tengzhi National Park.
No.
Meinong, there is a Hakka culture and nice food.
Of course.
Qishan, beautiful place, famous for the ice cream. And also local produced fruits and also some local domestic handmade artistic products. This is something quite attract foreigners. But now they come to eDaWorld, spending some time here, but we will suggest them a suggesting route to visit these neighboring places. You can cycle.
Oh, yes.
And it's a beautiful, naturally built cycling path.
Routes. Yes.
And then you can come back to the eDaWorld resting and drinking, eating, and, So this is a new concept of a pleasure and a travel. It is a combination of fitness, healthy, and also naturally touching and reaching.
Okay.
It's a good concept and brand new.
Yes. But Marian, you mentioned earlier that this is a very sizable investment in Kaohsiung area, and it's going to run up to 50 billion NT dollars altogether. We understand this is, a very heavy load for any single business, but really have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for the founder, Mr. Lin, who has the vision, also the ability, the determination to carry out this project into reality. Given the fact that sizable private investment like eDaWorld is going to take many years to develop, and in the process, of course, you can experience some ups and downs, some difficulties, and also in the process you learn some very valuable lessons. So from the perspective of eDaWorld, throughout the process, what have you learned as far as the investment environment in southern Taiwan is concerned? Are there anything that our government, in terms of laws and regulations, should be amending, to make it easier for the investments to, come to fruition? Or are there other things, maybe the private sector, should be more careful in terms of pre-planning before they go into such a project as big as eDaWorld?
Founder Lin Yishou,
yes,
30 years ago, purchased the land in Guanyin Mountains area. He didn't leave Taiwan or southern part of Taiwan at all.
No.
He may extend his manufacturing territory in overseas like Vietnam and mainland China. However, most of his business, factories, companies are in Greater Kaohsiung area.
Good.
So his good kind, his public service concept would like to be a kind of inspiration or foundation. He would like to, and he hopes that he's just a starter, and he hopes that it could get more business involvement or more investors domestically or from overseas coming to southern part of Taiwan. Talking about the investment environment, regulations and laws, they, from the viewpoint of the businessman, of course, we would like to see a bit more flexibility, particularly in aspects of the environmental evaluation. When we are going to build a big-scale project, of course, that is a processing, and then we respect the opinions from the members of the Environmental Evaluation Committee. However, we would be more grateful that if all the opinions or suggestions could be a bit more practical, we welcome they come out of the conference room and actually visiting the site, discussing what they suggest, and then we are very happy to apply. Also, that we are hoping that there will be a kind of incentive program. If you don't have incentive policies, why the investors coming to spend money in the southern part of Taiwan? That is a universal, is very common any place in the world. In the southern part of Taiwan, it is a little bit pity that we don't see very attractive incentive policies. However, as a local businessman, then we would like to feedback to the local community so that we could cover that cost. And we would like to do, as I mentioned earlier, public service, which is fine. However, expanding the business scope or to increase the service numbers in the years to come, that needs a lot of help from the public sectors. Transportation needs to be smooth. Network of the traffic has to be more wider. Then we are hoping that the MRT could be more extension. At this moment, Kaohsiung MRT has 2 lines.
2 lines only.
Yes, it's not very comprehensive. And from the Lingyi, even is willing to build at his own cost to build an extension MRT line from Zuoying HSR station all the way to Yida World, to Foguangshan, and to Yida Hospital. So land purchase or land acquisition and also some other administration processes, that we will need the help from the government.
Of course.
So we really hope that now we have a businessman here, and then he found the lane 71 years old gentleman who really want to do a lot of things for this country, for his city.
He's in the race against time.
He's racing time. And so that we welcome the dialogue from the public sectors, any opinions and positive feedback. And if there's anything we need to improve or anything we need to prepare, please tell us as early as possible, then we can plan as a bit more comprehensively.
As we know that, people often say that seem to be a widening gap between the northern part and the southern part of Taiwan. And that's, probably evident in a lot of the different aspects, including infrastructure, the kind of education and other facilities available in north and south. And given the fact that, now Taiwan is becoming more international and cross-strait relations are improving and more Chinese tourists are coming to Taiwan, how would you recommend, as a business executive who grew up in northern Taiwan but now working and living in southern Taiwan, how would you recommend that the local and central government can help to try to alleviate the gap between the north and south?
We always say the gap. Very obvious evidence is the house prices. So that is $100,000 to $150,000 per pin. That is for Kaohsiung. That is already kind of luxury, nice house. However, in Taipei, you have to spend 3 times, 10 times double those $300,000 to $400,000 per pin. So despite of the house price, that is really the gap, and there's resources allocation. So the allocation, like road quality, traffic network comprehension, and even if you would like to implement like landscaping to make the city more competitive or more beautiful and more friendly, please do consider. If you do something in the north, please also do something the same.
Equally
in the south.
Okay.
Filmmaking, creativity industry, yes, there's great inspiration source in the north.
Yes.
However, there are also a lot of talents, like university students that are also studying, majoring in these subjects.
Okay.
They are potential talents.
They need opportunities as well.
They need opportunities.
But let me ask you this, though, Marian. We understand that at the end of last year, 2010, there was the metropolitan elections. And now the greater area of Tainan and greater area of Kaohsiung have been both upgraded, in their administrative status to become a direct municipality. Given the fact that there will be more resources, supposedly, given to these local governments, are you optimistic that the issues that you mentioned, the quality of infrastructure, the amount of resources available, and the kinds of attention that's paid to the local projects are being increased, are you optimistic that things will change in the positive direction?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It just takes time.
Okay. And
it takes time for like Kaohsiung city government officials. Some of them may not spend a lot of time in Kaohsiung County area.
Okay.
So now in the first 6 months, they are learning, they are watching, and they are visiting physically. Okay. So it takes time, but we have confidence.
Yeah.
Greater area, it means greater resources, but it's just a matter of allocation of time and resources and manpower. Yeah. So earlier you asked about the business executives, how we are going to view this situation. Well, just do something equally. Yes. If you think something creativity for the north, then do something similar in the south.
I think we're moving in that direction. We're going to take the final break on our program, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation with Ms. Marian Chiang, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department of the General Management Committee at the E-United Group in Kaohsiung. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the final part of today's program here on the Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Ray Guo. We'll continue this conversation with Ms. Marian Chiang, who is the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department of the General Management Committee at the E-United Group in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. And Marian, let me ask you, of all the activities and the kinds of promotions that you have done for EDA World, I think a lot of people remember the exciting firework display that you have every year on calendar New Year, January 1st. And this has certainly been something of a huge attraction for many people, especially in southern part of Taiwan. And a lot of people said, this past year, and on December 31st, 2010, there were over 500,000 people gather around EDA World and watching the firework display. Can you tell us a little bit about the planning that went into and the preparations that you had to go through for the firework display on New Year's Eve?
Firework is always the moment of excitement, pleasure, and touching.
Of course.
So you cannot miss it.
Yes.
Particularly in the year-end party, final countdown, everybody's looking forward to. Yes. Not just on that day, even probably 1 week before the year-end party, everybody's talking about where to see, where to attend. So it's becoming a spirit. It's like Christmas, it's like a New Year holiday. We spent at least 10 months to prepare for it, because it's not just a firework display. We have invited several celebrities and very famous singers to perform musically and dancing on the stage on the night.
So there was a New Year's Eve party all the way through. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The New Year party starting from 6 o'clock on the 31st of December.
Okay.
Then we have the most famous and the most beautiful models having the fashion show to start, and then we have the bands singing, and then we have at least 15 famous singers coming to join us. That we don't mind spending money on this event. It's once a year, and it's the hope for many, many young people. I believe there are also a lot of viewers now in front of the TV. They are all waiting to see the most beautiful firework display in Taiwan. That is in Yida World.
And as we know that every year on New Year's Eve, there are many places all around the island that will have firework display. And before Yida World, I think a lot of people will pay attention to what happens in Taipei at the 101 Tower. And now, equally, I think the attention has been shifting southward, to Yida World. And people look at, the fire display in Yida World and saying that, hey, this is, not bad at all. It's, on equal footing with what's available in Taipei. But we know that firework display costs a lot of money, as a business. A lot of things that you have to be cost conscious. And how do you then, sort of, try to find the balance, providing this very exciting opportunity for many people to experience as we welcome a new year, and also at the same time make sure it's not going to be overly costly for your company. How do you balance the two?
If you conduct a big-scale event,
yes,
that you are looking at the side effect, the associated business opportunities.
Okay.
We have managed to attract 500,000 people coming to the mountains, to come into the Yida World. That day, 31st of December, our total revenue is generated. We have managed to reach 25 million NT dollars.
Just one
day.
Okay.
And the next day, which is the 1st of January, 35 million NT dollars.
That's very impressive.
And the previous year, the year-end party, after the firework, and the consumers actually have started booking the hotel rooms for the next year-end party.
Okay. All right.
And that is one thing that is the actual figures that could prove that it is efficient. The other thing is that, as I said earlier, that we're building up the expectation. They are looking forward to the year-end party and the firework. And we would like to keep people hoping, waiting, and looking forward to.
Exactly.
Firework, yes, it is like burning money. Within seconds, it's $1 million gone.
Yes.
However, if you are there actually on the night, in the final countdown stage, you could see that people are so cheerful, so excited, and they are sharing the great moments of the year with their loved ones, or with their families, or with good friends, even the work colleagues. Last year, that night, I was so excited, and I was in tears, and I was holding my work colleague together. I was so pleased that I spent the 建国100年, this, the 100-year
centennial. Yes,
that's right, with you, and which is the female work colleague, and we were holding together, and in tears. We are very excited, and we can see the audiences, 500,000. They are, wow.
Yes.
So that is something priceless, and we are willing to pay for the cost.
Yeah, and also you mentioned earlier about branding. I think certainly this is a very effective way of building a brand in the minds of many people, especially down south, about the Yida World.
That's right. The firework style is very different from the northern part of Taiwan. I know there's one very famous building.
Yes.
Yes, everyone, even the whole world, is paying all the attention to that high building.
Yes.
In Yida World's firework display, it is the full area display. So it's not just one building's firework. We have hotels roof, we have theme park, we have outlet mall, we have university, then we have the whole area's firework. So when you are there, it looks like a firework symphony.
Okay, good.
So from the east to the west.
Okay.
And it's a 360-degree scope of the firework display.
Okay. We understand that Yida World is being really an integral part of the local community. As you mentioned, in addition to the entertainment, the leisurely activities, you also have hospital, you also have university, and also other schools available. The fact of the matter remains is that as you integrate further into the community, I think you certainly have plans to help some of the residents and people in the neighborhood, in the community, who are in need of assistance occasionally. And what is the plans or projects that Ida World currently has, in addition to provide local employment opportunities that your company has in terms of helping the local people who are in need of assistance on an occasional basis?
That is a part of the public affairs department.
Yes.
It's my job.
Yes.
We call community relations program.
All right.
And we will choose one day of the week or one day from the month, an open day to invite the children from like homeless or from the low-income families for free. To visit a theme park. Okay. Some people think that the theme park tickets are a little bit expensive. However, that we have a competitive pricing strategy, and then we were quite happy to do charity. So this is one thing to invite people coming, the visitors coming to the theme park. Some people want to have a nice dinner.
Yes.
And we will also offer the opportunities to invite, again, working with city government to invite the lower family, income families to enjoy like Christmas dinner or like a nice meal in our 5-star hotels.
Yes.
Also, that because we have to do to be a good neighbors. So if we have like theater performance or a big scale activities, and then we will offer free entrance for our good neighbors. We have to do this.
Of course.
We want to do this.
Yes.
And that is part of the feedback to the local community. We want to be here substantially and be here for a very long time. So it's not just a business, it's part of the community and it's part of the city. So that's quite important for us to go ahead with this direction.
Okay. Towards the end of the program today, let me ask you that, Marian, as the Deputy Executive Director of the Public Affairs Department, what are the projects that you have already planned for the remainder of the year that you can share with us now, besides just the year-end party and also the firework display? What are some of the other things, maybe for example, planned for the summer, or any part of the year that you can share with us, that maybe you can tell our viewers around the world what they are?
Yes, we would like to attract people coming to Ida World, so that we have exhibitions. The exhibitions will be attracting like families or children, and the exhibition could be educational, so that it's a great opportunities for the school children spending half a day coming to Ida World, and then could have learned something, and then could entertain themselves. We will have concerts in summertime, and the concerts we will work with the record companies, and they have the singers having the new albums, and then they can come to have their concerts or press conferences.
Good.
We also have public performances in our Royal Theatre in Ida World. And at this moment, we have a great team from China, Beijing. Okay. And the next term, then we will have other professional groups.
Of course.
And apart from those, we will have fashion shows, and the models are actually like mothers or like volunteers, the social workers. So it's not
ordinary people.
Ordinary people. So let them have more involvement with the events. Apart from those, for the hotels and for the theme park and for the outlet malls, it's all year special offers, promotion events, etc. So quite a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and also it certainly looks like you're going to be very busy for the remainder of the year. It's been truly a pleasure to have you on the program today, Marian. I certainly want to wish you all the best in your personal and professional endeavors in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raymond, for having me. And it's really, really nice to be here to share all the happy and joyful things with you and the viewers. And we hope to see you and the viewers for the TV in Ida World one day and very soon.
Okay, we'll certainly take up on that. Yes. I want to thank you for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on MacroView Television. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.